Hey everyone, and welcome back to FP&A Done Right. I'm Ethan, and as always, I am joined by the amazing Emma.
Hey Ethan, great to be here as always.
Emma, you know, we're all about bringing those juicy financial planning and analysis insights
Oh yeah,
straight to the Office of Finance, right?
absolutely. We want to make sure everyone out there
Yeah.
has the tools and the knowledge to make smart,
Yeah.
strategic financial decisions.
Absolutely. And today we are diving deep into a topic
Okay.
that's, let's face it, a bit of a nail-biter for a lot of businesses, cash flow management.
Oh yeah, it's the lifeblood of any company. But
Yeah,
for certain industries like construction,
right.
it can feel like navigating a financial minefield.
Okay, so before we get into the specifics of this case study, I think it's helpful to set the stage a little bit.
Okay.
Why is cash flow such a beast to tame, especially in the world of construction?
Well, imagine this.
Okay.
You secure a big project,
All right.
get that initial down payment. Everyone's excited.
Everybody's happy.
But then what happened?
You're staring down massive upfront costs
Right.
for labor and materials often relying on
Yeah.
project-specific bank loans that come with their own set of complexities.
Right. And it's not like those costs are fixed. I mean, we've all seen how
Yeah.
volatile material prices
Absolutely.
and labor markets can be lately.
Totally.
Throw in the all too common material delays,
Oh, yeah.
and suddenly your carefully crafted budget and timeline are out the window.
Poof. Gone.
Yeah.
And the complexity doesn't stop there.
Oh, no.
Construction companies are notorious for juggling multiple projects
Yeah.
at various stages, each with its own
Yeah.
unique cash flow demands.
It's a lot.
It's a constant balancing act,
Yeah.
trying to ensure you have enough liquidity to cover expenses while waiting for those milestone payments to roll in.
So it's this perfect storm of front-loaded expenses, variable costs.
And the infamous payment lag
Yes.
that makes cash flow such a headache, right?
Exactly. It's a recipe for uncertainty.
Yeah.
And that makes it incredibly difficult to truly understand the financial health of individual projects,
Right.
let alone the overall business.
Yeah, you can't see the forest for the trees.
Exactly. Making confident decisions about taking on new projects
Right.
or even managing existing ones
Yeah.
becomes a risky game.
So with all that in mind, let's get into the meat of today's deep dive.
Okay, let's do it.
We're going to explore how Revelwood used Workday Adaptive Planning
Okay.
to help a Pennsylvania-based construction company take control of their cash flow and gain some much-needed financial clarity.
Awesome.
This company builds beautiful custom homes across several counties,
I love that.
and they were facing many of these cash flow challenges we
Yeah.
just discussed.
For sure.
Variable cost, material delays, juggling multiple projects.
Uh-huh.
It was a constant struggle to stay ahead of the curve.
Yeah, always playing catch up.
And they weren't starting from scratch, right?
That's right.
They already had a system in place.
They did. They were using Mark Systems home builder software,
Yeah.
which is pretty common in the industry.
Mm.
It was great for managing projects,
Okay.
but it didn't provide the robust cash flow insights they needed to thrive
I see.
in this complex environment.
So I'm guessing spreadsheets were involved.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Lots of manual data entry,
Oh, no.
exporting, importing.
Ugh.
It was a time-consuming process prone to errors,
Yeah.
and it didn't give them that real-time visibility they needed to make informed decisions.
So enter Revelwood and Workday Adaptive Planning. I am eager to hear how this dynamic duo came to the rescue.
Oh, yeah.
What was their approach?
Well, Revelwood understood that just layering new software
Yeah.
on top of existing systems wouldn't cut it.
Yeah.
They focused on seamless integration, connecting Workday Adaptive Planning with the company's Mark Systems software to create a unified financial hub.
Wow.
No more data silos, just a smooth flow of information.
Sounds like a breath of fresh air for their finance team.
It really was. But it wasn't just about connecting the dots.
Okay.
Revelwood took the time to understand the company's specific pain points
Yeah?
and processes,
Okay.
crafting a solution that truly met their needs.
And how did that translate into tangible benefits?
Well,
What kind of insights did they gain?
for starters,
Yeah.
they gained granular visibility into their cash flow
Okay.
at multiple levels.
Right.
They could analyze by project, by payment type, even by specific project milestones.
Wow.
Imagine that, finally seeing the full picture with clarity and detail
Okay, I see the light bulbs going off.
they'd never had before.
No more flying blind, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
They could now accurately track the ebbs and flows of cash for each project, understand the real impact of those pesky cost fluctuations and delays,
Right.
and finally assess the overall health of their cash flow in real time. It was a game changer,
Yeah.
empowering them to make informed decisions with confidence.
That's amazing. But I'm sure integrating these systems and tailoring them to the company's needs came with its own set of challenges, right? I'm guessing there wasn't all smooth sailing.
You're right.
Okay.
Implementing new technology can be a bumpy road. Let's dive into some of those hurdles and explore how Revelwood helped this construction company overcome them in the next part of our deep dive.
All right, so we've established that Revelwood stepped in to help this construction company wrangle their cash flow challenges using Workday Adaptive Planning. But as I hinted at before, I bet this wasn't just a plug-and-play situation.
Oh, definitely not.
What were some of the hurdles they encountered during implementation, and how did Revelwood navigate them?
One of the first things Revelwood tackled was data migration.
Okay.
Think about it. Years of historical financial data
locked
away in their old system needed to be transferred accurately and efficiently into Workday Adaptive Planning.
Yeah, that sounds like a recipe for headaches if not handled properly.
Oh, for sure.
Corrupted data inconsistencies, missing information could throw a wrench into the whole project.
Absolutely. Revelwood understood the importance of clean, reliable data. So they meticulously mapped out the data fields, ensuring everything migrated seamlessly without any loss of information.
All right, so they laid a solid data foundation.
Yes.
Preventing any shaky ground for the project moving forward.
Exactly.
What about the human element?
Oh, yeah.
I imagine getting everyone on board with a new system and new ways of working could be a challenge in itself.
Change management is crucial in any technology implementation.
Right.
And Revelwood knew they couldn't just focus on the technical aspects. They worked closely with the construction company's finance team, providing comprehensive training and support to ensure everyone understood how to use Workday Adaptive Planning effectively.
I bet that hands-on approach went a long way in easing anxieties.
Absolutely.
And building confidence in the new system.
It did. Revelwood made sure the finance team felt empowered to use the system to its full potential, not intimidated by it.
That's great.
But they didn't stop there.
Okay.
They also recognized that construction companies have very specific reporting needs, especially when it comes to tracking the financial performance of individual projects.
Yeah, that makes sense. You need to be able to zoom in and see how each project is contributing to the bottom line. Identify potential red flags and make those course corrections before it's too late.
Exactly.
Did Revelwood offer any solutions in that department?
They did. Revelwood went beyond the standard out-of-the-box reports and worked with the company to create customized dashboards and reports within Workday Adaptive Planning. These provided real-time visibility. So they could essentially slice and dice the data any way they needed to get the specific insights they were looking for without needing a PhD in data analysis.
Exactly. They gave the construction company the power to ask the right questions and get the answers they needed to make those crucial decisions. But beyond the customized reports, another area where Revelwood truly excelled
was in addressing the unique challenges of construction financing.
Now, that's an area where things can get really hairy.
Oh, yeah.
You've got those complex bank loans, draw schedules, milestone payments. It's enough to make your head spin.
For sure.
How did Revelwood bring clarity to that chaotic world?
Well, remember those detailed draw schedules we talked about earlier?
Yeah.
The ones that outline when a bank will disperse funds throughout the project's life cycle. Revelwood skillfully integrated those draw schedules directly into the cash flow model within Workday Adaptive Planning.
So instead of those draw schedules living in separate spreadsheets or documents, they were now a living, breathing part of the system.
Exactly.
Automatically factored into the cash flow projections.
This gave the construction company an incredibly clear picture of their short-term liquidity. They could see exactly when and how much funding would be available at each stage of a project, which was crucial for making informed decisions about resource allocation, taking on new projects, and of course, avoiding those dreaded cash crunches.
It sounds like Revelwood really went above and beyond.
They did.
Considering every detail and tailoring the solution to meet the very specific needs of this construction company.
Absolutely.
But let's step back for a moment and look at the bigger picture.
All right.
What are the key takeaways from this case study for our listeners who might be facing similar cash flow challenges in their own businesses?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
I think one of the biggest takeaways is the power of a well-implemented financial planning and analysis solution like Workday Adaptive Planning. It's not just about crunching numbers. It's about providing the right information to the right people at the right time so they can make smart, strategic decisions.
So it's not just a technology solution.
Right.
It's a business transformation tool.
And another crucial takeaway is the importance of choosing the right implementation partner.
Okay.
A partner like Revelwood, who understands your industry, listens to your challenges, and has a proven track record of success.
I think a lot of companies get caught up in the technology itself.
Yeah.
And underestimate the value of having a trusted partner to guide them through the implementation process, ensuring they get the most out of the system.
Absolutely. It's an investment worth making. When you find the right partner, you're not just getting technology, you're gaining access to their knowledge, expertise, and ongoing support, which can be invaluable.
I'm curious, was there a particular aha moment for the construction company in this whole process? A moment where they realized this was more than just a software upgrade, but a fundamental shift in how they manage their finances.
There were actually several.
But one that stands out is when they were able to confidently take on a new large-scale project that they would have previously hesitated to pursue due to concerns about cash flow. Armed with their new insights and forecasting capabilities, they could clearly see how the project would impact their financial position over time and make strategic decisions to mitigate any potential risks.
It's like they finally had the tools and the confidence to say yes to growth opportunities without that nagging fear of jeopardizing their financial stability.
Exactly. And that's a powerful feeling.
That is.
But their journey didn't end there.
Okay.
Let's explore how they expanded their use of Workday Adaptive Planning and the lasting impact it had on their business in the final part of our deep dive.
Welcome back to FP&A Done Right. We've been unpacking this really interesting case study of how a construction company transformed their cash flow management
with the help of Revelwood and Workday Adaptive Planning.
It's been fascinating.
And we've seen how they moved from struggling with fragmented data and limited visibility to having this really sophisticated integrated system that gives them a clear, real-time understanding of their financial position.
It's a game changer for sure.
Yeah, it's a great example of how the right technology and the right partner can make a huge difference.
Totally agree.
But I'm thinking about our listeners right now. Some of them might be in similar situations, feeling overwhelmed by those cash flow challenges, wondering where to even begin.
It's a common problem.
You're right. It can feel daunting.
Yeah.
But the key takeaway here is that it is possible to achieve that level of clarity and control.
Absolutely.
Even in an industry as complex as construction.
It's true.
So let's break it down for them.
Okay.
If a company is listening to this and thinking, okay, this sounds great, but how do I actually apply these lessons to assess their current situation?
Okay.
Where are the pain points in their cash flow management process?
Right.
What kind of visibility do they currently have into their financials?
Yeah.
What are their reporting needs and decision-making processes?
It's about taking that step back and really getting a clear picture of what's working and what's not. No more burying your head in the sand.
Agreed. Once they have a good understanding of their current state, they can start exploring potential solutions.
Okay.
And this is where it's really important to consider not just the technology itself, but also the implementation partner.
Right. Because even the best software in the world won't be effective.
Exactly.
If it's not implemented properly and tailored to the specific needs of the business.
Couldn't agree more. Look for a partner who understands your industry, who takes the time to listen to your challenges.
And who has a proven track record of successful implementations.
Like Revelwood.
Yeah.
I mean, they clearly demonstrated their expertise in this case study.
They did.
They knew exactly how to leverage Workday Adaptive Planning to solve this construction company's very specific cash flow challenges.
Absolutely. And they went beyond just implementing the software.
Yeah.
They acted as true partners working closely with the company to ensure the solution was adopted effectively and delivered real value.
So to our listeners out there, Don't underestimate the importance of choosing the right partner.
So true.
They can make all the difference in turning your financial management from a source of stress to a source of strength.
It's an investment worth making. And when you find the right partner, you're not just getting technology. You're gaining access to their knowledge, expertise, and ongoing support, which can be invaluable.
So assess your needs, find the right partner, and then what's that next crucial step?
Don't be afraid to embrace change. Implementing a new system can feel intimidating.
Yeah, but it's often necessary to truly transform your financial management.
It's about being open to new ways of doing things, to streamlining processes, and to letting go of those old inefficient habits.
And remember, it's not just about the technology itself.
Right.
It's about the people.
Yeah.
Get your team on board.
Yes.
Provide them with the training and support they need. And foster a culture of data-driven decision-making.
Great point. Because at the end of the day, it's the people who will be using the system,
Absolutely.
analyzing the data, and making those critical decisions.
Exactly. And when you empower your team with the right tools and the right mindset, that's when you unlock the true power of financial planning and analysis.
This has been such a fantastic discussion.
It has.
And I hope it's given our listeners a lot to think about.
Me too.
But before we wrap up, I want to leave them with one final thought.
Okay, I'm intrigued. Go on.
We've talked a lot about the tactical aspects of cash flow management. The systems, the processes, the technology.
Right. But I think it's also important to remember the bigger picture.
What do you mean?
Cash flow is not just about numbers on a spreadsheet.
Okay.
It's about the lifeblood of your business. It's what allows you to pay your employees, invest in growth, and ultimately achieve your goals.
You're right. It's the foundation upon which everything else is built.
So my challenge to our listeners is this.
All right, I like it.
Don't just manage your cash flow, master it.
Ooh, I like that.
Make it a strategic priority, not just an operational necessity.
And by doing so, you'll not only improve your financial health,
Yes.
but also create a more resilient and successful business overall.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Thanks for joining us for this episode of FP&A Done Right.
It's been a pleasure.
We hope you found it valuable and inspiring. Until next time.
And remember to visit www.revelwood.com to learn more about how they can help you achieve FP&A done right.